Hello, Digwits. Welcome back to the show. I'm Gaeilge Weekly, fáilte week on so agus Gaeilge Weekly. This week on Ceisteanna show, episode number 87, agron iver a octo shocked, the bilingual version on leagan gach no on leagan BHFAD Níos Simplí. Big thank you as always for tuning in. Míle buchas mars Gnóthach as a bheith ag túnal éisteacht. Before I forget, because I know I will forget if I don't say it now, so riv a dhéanam dearmid, mar tá sagam gnéonhí mé dearmid, mulla dearm é seo díreach inis. Next week on Gaeilge Weekly, there for the first time is going to be a Q&A. So on Ceisteanna Sugan Gaeilge Weekly by Q&A agin don chéad or. This will be as the first of our two shows across Seachtain na Gaeilge by sin mar an chéad show a dhéanamid ire Seachtain na Gaeilge. If you would like to send a question in, má thosaitheoirí teachtarach don cheist a cheola isteach, and you can ask a question about anything, about Gaeilge Weekly, about Learn Irish Online, about myself, about my life here in Spain, something about the Irish language, so I know faoin bud creile, faoi Learn Irish Online, faoi my héalsa, faoi my héal and seo sa Spáin, rud éigean faoin Gaeilge beidir, then you can get in contact loads of different ways. Tá tú an fála deagháil in a lán bailí difriúla. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave a comment below. So má tá tú géisteacht Spotify. It's very that teachtarach a ágáil, hís. Probably even easier for a lot of people, especially if you're not listening on Spotify. Chance má go mai sin níos éasca le a lán daoine go háirithe muna bhfuil tú géisteacht Spotify. Just send us an email or a message on Instagram. So email address is liam.learnirishonline@gmail.com. So on shoulder refresh, then sin liam.learnirishonline@gmail.com. No freshen, tá tú an teachtarach a chur chuigin. You can also send us a message over on Instagram or Facebook, Learn Irish Online, on both of those. Or if you're watching on YouTube, on Totig Fakins or YouTube, you can also leave a comment down below. Those will all be seen, and hopefully I'll be able to answer all of them, depending on how many there are. Licún sé by me an gachcean aragarts on Ceisteanna Sugan nach Breton sé céadvéids a bhaid ag teacht isteach. So I said, I'll say that straight away. Dúirt mé, caithfidh mé is sin a rá díreach inis, mar mulla dearm mé inis, tá mé cinnte gnéonhí mé dearmid níos déine. So, how are we all doing, guys? Cons atá muid scaléir. This week on Gaeilge Weekly, going to be speaking about a specific topic again by mBéarla, speaking in faoi topic áirithe arís. And this week, going to be talking about the things, I suppose, that are most important in my life. Na rudí is tábhachtí in my héalsa, and the things that I find I have to do to keep myself in good form, to keep myself healthy, to keep myself feeling good. So na rudí agus caithfidh mé na rudí seo a dhéanú chun mé féin a chuineáil ag mothú go maith to keep myself feeling good. I suppose if I think about it, and I was thinking about this about a week or two ago, stocha má tá mé ag smaoinú faoi seo agus bhí mé ag smaoinú faoi seo thart ar cheachtain nó hin nó caicís ó hin anis, that I'm quite an independent person and I do a lot of things on my own if you look at my life. So it's dinna soch navsblach or racing to navsblach me agus déanam a lán rudí I mé éinear. And a lot of that's true choice, tá a lán rá ag buint leis sin. But like, listen, I have loads of friends and I love hanging out with them and all that. Tá long cordtágam agus is even lum ag cahuama low. But at the same time, I work by myself. I bring them féin. Learn Irish Online is my full-time job, and no one else works at Learn Irish Online. So Learn Irish Online sin ma fust lán aimsre, ní bhín aim den eile ag obair ag Learn Irish Online, and I don't even have any, video editors or any freelance, ní bhín aim den ag déanú an agorthachta. An fiánaí, no ein rud mar sin, no ein freelance or no accountants or anything like that really. It's pretty much just all me. So misha an gachrad really. And I now live by myself as well. Tá mé im Coinnigh lum féin an ish freshen. So I suppose it was only a week or two ago I thought about it. Ní rá sé ag seachtain no chácheachtain ó hin hook me for Zara, I realized, I actually end up having to do a load of things by myself. There's not many people I know who work completely by themselves. Níl mór an daoine ó bhfuil aithneagam who a bhín ag obair lo féin. Okay, maybe people who work from home, but they still have meetings with bosses or whoever, been cruinnithe acu le ceannasaithe, nó daoine difriúla or clients, cliantaí. I suppose I do have my students. I do 6 or 7 lessons a week. Tá an bhic léin agam, déanam 6 nó 7 gach den 9 seachtainna. But apart from that, I'm kind of doing most things by myself. And then to live by myself as well. Chun bheith im chónaí, lum féin, im éonar, san orsan, in the flash. You know, it's different to what a lot of other people have. Tá sé difriúil I go approach le lán daoine eile. And I love that. I love kind of, especially during the week, I'm fine by myself. I'm good by myself for the most part. So don chuid is mó, tá mé cearc leor, lum féin, agus a cahuama lum féin. As I've mentioned many times on the podcast before, I much prefer working by myself. Mar a dúirt mé rubh seo an bud craile. It's fearlam a bheith gulper, just in my éonar, and to have that kind of curative control on everything, chun a bheith gceannas céad fan géad gach rud, and also to live by myself and have the privacy in my own house, chun an so príomháidchas sin a bheith agam in my cheach chéin. I love that. But equally, you have to kind of take care of yourself then. Caithfidh tú ara a thuirt dis féin ag an am céine. Because if you just spend all week by yourself, which is not what I do, má tú ag cathú na seachtainna fad leat féin, agus lí mé grá gur sin an rud a bhí mé ag déanú, but when you're spending a good bit of time on your own, you know, it's easy to start going a bit crazy or to not feel too good. Tá sé éasca chun dul beagnaí crackalta or tosú ag mothú beagnaí gadonna. So what are the things that I do, or what are the things that are important to me, I suppose, to stay feeling good and to just have a good week? Cadí na rudí is tábhachtí dom chun a bheith ag mothú go maith agus just chun seachtain maith a bheith agam. Well, the first thing, I have about a list of 7 or 8 here written down. Tá list is just 7 nó 8 rud. Get me 8 things, I think, written down here. Scríofa síos agam an seo. So number 1 is to stay busy. Chéad ceann ná chuineáil Gnóthach. And that's the title of the podcast this week. Sin an tedéil an bud craile an teachtain seo, Coinnigh Gnóthach, stay busy. So that's just the biggest thing. And I think so many issues in life for people can kind of be sorted out. Not so many, but a lot of issues. An fáibeanna sa saol tá tú an either ráite or níl na fáibeanna chomh má tá tú Gnóthach. The problems aren't as big if you're busy. So if you're doing stuff, and especially doing stuff you like, má tá tú ag déanamh rudaí agus go háirithe rudaí a haithníí an leat, I find things are better, because honestly it sounds so simple, tá chumh but you just don't have the time to be overthinking things or worrying about things. Níl an tám agat chun a bheith ag smaoinmh numracha rudaí nó chun éirí bortha faoi rudaí. You know, so many issues in life. It's not kind of physical things. Obviously, for some people it's physical things or their relationships or whatever else. So really physical, no kitesurf, no Gaeilge atá acu. But really so much of, I suppose, issues is just stuff going on in your head. Really atá siúil I the insín or the agna. So when you're actually staying busy with things and you've got things in front of you to do, for me anyway, in my life, in my héalsa arénos, Carínse sin go mórlam. That helps me big time. Just, again, not to have the time to be overthinking other stuff. Gan an tám sin a bheith agam chun a bheith smaoinmh an numracha rudaí agus thinking doesn't do you much good, I think. Má tá tú ag smaoinmh for rud éigean. Ní dhéanann sé mór an maithastits I my hearimse, in my opinion. Doesn't do you too much good, agus ní charíonn sé leat mór an. It doesn't help you much. Obviously, sometimes you do need to sit down and think before you do something, or to caiithfidh sí síos agus smaoinigh ribh rud éigean dhéanamh, but better to be doing stuff than thinking about stuff. Níos fearr a bheith déanamh rudaí in áit a bheith smaoinmh rudaí. So that's definitely important for me, and especially I remember a few years ago reading Jimmy Carr's book, Escuibhlam cúpla bliain ó hin ag léamh leabhar Jimmy Carr. And one thing that Jimmy Carr, the comedian from England, obviously, Jimmy Carr on Far Green, Sasnach Arnoy. And he was speaking about something about how his brain is kind of always on, and he has quite a fast brain or mind in terms of the way it works. So bhí sesin ag labhairt faoi cécoil tapi agus a bhín hin sin ag obair. Agus go mbíonn sé I gcónaí siúil, that it's kind of always on. And he was saying that's not a good thing or a bad thing. Ní rud maith sin, ach ní rud diúltach ach an airad. It's not a negative thing either. That just means that when you're working on something, or when you've got something to focus the mind on, so nuair tá rud ag an that chun díreach seach agus nuair atá rud ag an ost chóir, if you have something in front of you, especially something maybe creative and something stimulating, well then that's good because you can work really well tá tú ná obair a dhéanamh an rud sin, and you can maybe do more work in an hour than some other person can in 2 or 3. Tá tú ná níos mó oibre a dhéanamh tíbhas téide ó a bháin ná mar tá duine eile in an déanamh beidir tíbhas téide rá nó 3 ó ar clig. So that is brilliant in one sense, but where it becomes an issue, tá sé sin go hintach ar chlí ach an sin ar chlí eile, tá sé deachar, because if you're not doing anything, if you don't have something in front of you, if you're just sitting about doing nothing, man bhfuil rud ag an os de chóir, man bhfuil rud ag an agat chun zero isteach ar an rud sin, your mind is just going to still be on, and it's going to start overthinking and creating situations in your head by the insane, by the agna, fós ar siúl, agus by sé crothú rudaí nach bhfuil fear, things that are real, agus by tú smuoin of an numarcha, and you'll just stress yourself out and burn yourself out. So caiitú bheith ag déanamh rudaí. And for me, that's very much how my brain works. I can easily sit down for 2 or 3 hours and study Italian or study Spanish or whatever, practice the guitar or work on something and get loads done and really enjoy it and get deep into it. Tá mission an gandát sí síos ar fra chun na 3 hour clig agus dul like go dhaoine deeply ar rud éigean an guitar, teanga éigean, rud éigean le learnirishonline, rud éigean leis an bud craile, something with a podcast, something with LAO, whatever, pay rud. But if I'm sitting around doing nothing, my mind starts going a bit into overdrive and just starts worrying about X, Y, or Z, being my main scene bortha, we pay rud. So that for me is super important, to stay busy, always be doing something. Not always, of course you have to take a break, and then, you know, sometimes when you do enough things, the mind slows down because it becomes tired, and then I can chill out anyway. So orintá má tá mé ag déanamh an rudaí tar éis tamil, tar éis, you know, lá bháin nó gá lá annach an Gnóthach le rudaí bín me insín tuirseach agus ní bhíonn sé chomh it's not as fast then, so I can sit down and do nothing for a while. Tá an sí síos agus tá a dhéanamh ar frad tamil, but for the most part, an chuid is mó, I like to stay busy, I like to be doing things, and I think that helps for so many people, especially if you're overthinking stuff or worried about stuff. Má tá tú ag smuoin of an numarcha for rudaí nó bortha for rudaí, just do something anything that you like and stay busy with it. Chuineál go Gnóthach leis. So that's definitely one. Another one, and I suppose tied into that, and all the other ones are tied into this in some way, because they're different things I like doing to stay busy, is rudaí difriúla iad a níon go mórlam. So the second one is running, and I suppose running, or just to be outside in general. So a bheith great agus a bheith tíomh muo, because I work from home, because I work in the apartment, marial go mín me a gobar Somalia agus a gobar san Orasán, and I also have a huge amount of natural light in the flash marial nach bhfuil a lán solas nádartha agam sa teach. It's important for me to get out and not be in front of the screen all day, gan a bheith os cóir and scálan and lá ar fad. So to be out and about, and running is one of the best things for me, because obviously I get the exercise there as well. You know, bheith ag réit sin ceant in rudaí is fearr domsa mar ar nói fáim an achlíocht an sin freisin. So, I mean, even over the last few months, you know, I've done like a really good 10k time and half marathon time. Well, good for me, I think better than I thought I'd ever be able to get. So, go má domsa ar éos agus a bhád níos fearr ná mar cheap mé go raibh mé an roimhe seo. But it's not like I was ever really tracking my runs or using Strava. And you're really a buint úsáid a Strava, no ag déanamh tracking, nor bhí mé go ré, or getting into the sports science side of it or anything like that. Níor mór an simagam ar an tíobh sin tóch on that side of it. But I just got really fit because I was always going out like 3 times a week, going out for a run for an hour just to get out of the house. Bhí mé géirí fáil amach as an sac ar fa bit or a clig bit or big níos mó, big níos slú, a bit more, a bit less. So because of that, I was running so often, I got into good shape. Deir mé an achlí tar éis tamil marial grá mé ag déanamh an rud sin Coinnigh, because I was doing that thing so often. And yeah, just to be outside, I think that's something everyone knows. You know, you feel better when you're spending some of the day outside, especially if you're spending it outside exercising. Moille tú go má tá tú ag déanamh achlíochta agus tá tú tíomh muo, má tá tú ag déanamh rud éigean. Seville's a great city for running. some really good parks here. You can run up and down the river. Thosaitheoirí Gnóthach, on the bheith grid, Tatuanantol, an éasca snús, Céadaoin, freshen Tatuanan, well, tá cúpla pork, iontach, agus Tatuanantol, gajin pork and a shin, hunre, and so, yeah, just running, just exercising. Again, they're simple things, and I suppose they're such obvious things, but a lot of people kind of forget to do them, and I forget to do them sometimes as well. Din a lantini dermot on the ruddy show, a yenu agus misha freshen. Din denim sha dermot the goni on the ruddy show, a yenu. Number three is to be listening to music. Music is such a big thing in my life. I éisteacht le ceol, tá sé chomh mór sin an ceol in a hail. I mean, if I think there'd be sometimes I just won't be feeling quite right. I'll literally listen to music, go on a walk again outside, agus éistem le ceol, té mar siúlóid, tíbhan way, for like 20 minutes, no more, or for 5 nómid, níos mó ná sin ag tastáin. And I feel completely different. Moille go humlan tifriúil, the effect music has on me. I do think it has a bigger effect on me than other people. Ceapan gohfuil tuncar níos mó ná éifeacht níos mó ag an geol. Ormsa ná Coinnigh, because I don't really I don't hear other people speaking about music in the same way I would be thinking about it. Na cloisiam daoine eile ag labhairt faoin geol sa bhealach céanna mar bhíimse ag smaoinne faoi Uranus. But I'm sure there's a lot of other people who have a similar relationship with it as I do. Tá cinnte gohfuil caid sort of cosúil is tócha ag lán daoine leis an geol mar atá agamsa. And the difference makes it unbelievable. Again, a lot of these are interlinked. Tá a lán and the ruddy show ceangalsa le céile, so if I'm out running, I'll often listen to music at the same time, and that's equally keeping me busy. So tá mé go ré seans má go mbeidh mé éisteacht le ceol ag an am céanna agus by mé tíbhan way, agus by mé ag chuineáil Gnóthach. So all these things are linked in a lot of ways, or a lot of them are. Tá lán and the ruddy show ceangalsa le céile. But yeah, music just has a massive effect on my life. Tá tuncar nó éifeacht all war ag an geol am a hail. Probably one of the top 5 most important things in my life. Seans ma gur ceans in top 5, ceans in cúgarrod is mó im a hail. So yeah, if I don't listen to music after a few hours, I can feel something's wrong. Tá mé an mothúg bhfuil rud éigean mí cheart. And then I realise, I haven't listened to anything today. Nice segue into the next one, podcasts and interviews. So podcrailty agus aglah freshen. And I know I was speaking about interviews last week. Bhí mé clárts beginning faoi na hagalibh tifriúla a bhín mé éisteacht lo an sachtan sa catsa. And that's important as well, I think, especially because I do spend a lot of time on my own during the week. Marial go mín mé ag cathúil lá náma lom féin I rith na seachtainna. Sometimes I might start thinking about a certain situation or problem or whatever and start feeling bad about it. So aren't by me ag smaoinne faoi Eipeasóid agus tosníam ag mothú go donna faoi. And it's only when you obviously you'd have the same thing if you just met with someone and started chatting about whatever, and then you'd hear them say something better like Thosaitheoirí rud éigean, wehu, and then you go, of course, yeah, you kind of see someone else's perspective or outlook. Tatuanan, dearcha, chunaig an eile, eáil or chlustáil to see or hear someone else's outlook. And you're like, of course, I was just getting sucked in or forgetting about the bigger picture. This thing I was thinking about doesn't really matter. And rud so ará me ag smaoinne faoi, it's cuma faoi, really. It is sé tábhachtach. It's not important. So maybe if I don't have the chance during the day to meet up with someone, listen to a podcast or an audiobook or someone expressing themselves kind of gives me that viewpoint or that perspective. So muna bhfuil an seans agam beidir lá and búla le duine éigean nó casa le duine éigean ag éisteacht le leabhar fuama nó ag éisteacht le podcraile tugann sé an léargas sin nó an dearcha sin dom. It gives me that kind of perspective or that viewpoint, and to go, oh yeah, of course, and it might be something simple, listening to a podcast with someone I like Noel Gallagher, better ag éisteacht le podcraile le duine éigean a hat níl cosúil le Noel Gallagher, and he'll just say, you can't be sure, those things don't matter in life. He'll be talking about something in his own life, it's come up with the ruddy shin society, and then I go, oh yeah, of course, yeah. How did I kind of get sucked into worrying about this cinquí around my chomh gafa leis an rud seo agus bortha faoin rud seo? It's cuma, it doesn't matter. So sometimes you need that, I suppose, perspective, and there's, certain people, like I spoke about last week on the show, mar ará méid láirt an teachtain sa catsa an show. There's some things, or some people rather, daoine éigean, rins daoine, that I really like listening to, and that kind of, I suppose, have a similar perspective to me on life. Tá tearcha soch cosúil acúb lumsa an sail, or they have a perspective that I would like to be able to have more of. Tá bhéidir an tearcha acu agus tá méid géirí an tearcha sin a bheith agam níos mó sa sail, and so I'm able to normally learn a lot, or kind of rebalance myself and refocus myself after listening to them. Another one is sleep. Ceann eile sin culu, and I need a lot of sleep. Tá a lot culu ag tasla. Well, I'm not sure do I actually. Níl sagam an will, but I feel like I know I sleep a lot. Being sé culu a lot of it, because if I sleep, let's say 8 hours on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so má tá misa I mo chola ar fa 8 uair ar chlig. An Gnóthach an Lún, an Mórts, an Gaeilge agus an sin an Céadaoin. By Thursday evening or by Friday or whatever, beidir ihe Céadaoin no an ina, I feel destroyed. Moillim scrista, moillim an thursach. So I need more than 8 hours, and I need a few sleep-ins during the week. And I know that sounds so lazy, and I feel so lazy. Thosaitheoirí gúil cuma chomh leisciúil sin, agus moillim leisciúil. Now, I'm not the type of person that at 5 o'clock I check out and I'm not doing a tap of work after that. Ní mis an 6 duine sin a bhí na creignú ag 2 glog agus ní an tada taréis é sin. I'll happily work till 6, 7, 8, so I'll do stuff later in the day. So it's not like, oh, I'm giving away time at the start of the day and I'm not working it back. Nís é cosúil gúil mé just a churmú ama ag tús an lei agus níl mé ag obair an sin níos déine níos a lot, not at all, ní ar churbe. So, and also I think, well, I'd prefer to get a load of sleep and feel good throughout the day and be able to do good work. So tá mi sé géirí, lán chulú all agus a bheith mothú go maith ar an léig, bheith mothú céad fan géad to be feeling 100% or as close to it as possible. Chomh gar don céad fan géad, don level sin, don mothú con sin to that feeling, mar as féidir as is possible, and then the work that I do on obair a bheith méid déanú, it'll actually be good work. Obair wa a bheith inchi. So it'll be good work, or at least I hope it'll be good work, like the day obair wa a bheith inchi. So that's, I suppose, the viewpoint I take. But yeah, I don't know why I need so much sleep. Nils I'm cin fá will a maid sin colai tasla, because I have friends who only get like 5 or 6 a night, and they seem to operate fine. Tá cord sagmang snílach beidir cuaig no sé or in the ein see that cuaig no sé or in aine hiha. It's been she'd cearcalóir, maybe they're not as healthy as I think. Beidir nach will she'd cove sláintúil mar cheapam. And I suppose, listen, I very rarely get sick. I'm quite fit. So maybe that's as a result of, in general, I feel good most of the time. I don't have much stress. Maybe that's as a result of how much sleep I get. Beidir tagan sé sin mar gheall go bhfuil mé ag fáil an méid seo colú. Níl sam, I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely really important for me, and I prefer to just get a lot of sleep and then feel good during the day and be able to do the things I want to do in the way I want to do them, even if I have an hour or less, an hour or 2 hours even less than other people to live and do stuff during the day. If you mátá beidir or no cha or níos lú na daoine eile chun rudaí a dhéanú I rit an lei. Last few things: water, éasca. That's what I have written down here. Olam a lá éasca, and I feel destroyed again if I don't have a lot. And again, it's funny, but like I feel a bit weird moithín Bígí Gnóthach now, the way this podcast has gone. An chuid no an tro bhfuil an bud creile seo imithe, because I'm no health expert, or I'm not a PT or a mindfulness expert or anything like that, but just these are things in my life. Shoid na rudaí in my healsa that like I'm looking at my stuff that I've written down here to make fake and the ruddy tashkrif she sung and they're all such like simple stuff, but they're the big stuff, So ruddy simply atán to ach ruddy more atán to eganam céna at the same time. Just well, if you drink a load of water and you're not eating too badly and you're doing a bit of exercise and getting a load of sleep, you're probably going to feel way better. Chance má go mai tú ag mothú wadníos fearr má tá tú ag fáil alán cholú má tá tú ggóil alán uisce má tá tú ag githe go sláintúil or soch go sláinsúil fairly healthily. It's funny how I always think with so many things in life, it's not easy, but it's simple. Ní sé éasca ach tá sé simplí le lán rudí sa saoil. I always say that about learning Irish or learning a language. You gcónaí dear mé sin faoi beidir cheanga a ólam. Níl sé éasca ach tá sé simplí. It's not easy, but it's simple. You know what you have to do. The tricky part is just doing it, but it's not like it's rocket science in terms of how to do it. Níl sé cosúil. The rocket science na rud ag an anna chasta maidir le, chunas tá mé an lei seo a dhéanamh, how am I going to do this? But anyway, yeah, a load of water. I must drink 3 or 4 litres of water a day, and I feel horrible if I don't do that. Moille an gcomhpháirtíocht money in them, na really seo. And again, I know I kind of started talking about a lot of this was more so, I suppose, mental health stuff and feeling good, even if I maybe don't see that many people during the day. Thosaitheoirí gur thosaigh mé amach ar stocha ó thaobh mar chláinte de agus ó money enam na rudí seo moithim go donna beidir arís ó thaobh insin de mentally. Maybe I don't feel as good if I don't do these things, but I suppose so many mental things are linked to physical things. If you feel good physically, you'll feel a lot better mentally. Ma tá tú mothú go maith ó thaobh chorpte seans má go maith tú ag mothú go maith ar mothú níos fearr ar aonos ó thaobh fiabharte. So yeah, water, isca, lán, isca. Ag labhart le chords de friúla, go háirithe na chords a nachhfuil in the Gcónaí and seo Seville, especially friends that aren't here in Seville, staying in touch with them, which is thing I'm sometimes good at, sometimes not so good at. Rud éigean óhfuil mé go maith ag a orintha agus díol mé chomh maith ag a orintha. But it's a good time, you know, if I look at the week and say, oh, well, for the most part, I'll see my friends here in Seville towards the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tá mé chun mo chordsa calling so ag deireadh na seachtaine, deireadín te hína, te sathern, te dhaoine. Well, it's better than Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Take that chance, take those days when I might not be seeing as many people here. Tá sin níos fearr beidir ag tús na seachtaine, te lún te mórt, te Céadaoin, nuair nach maith mé ag casú le chords an seo is Seville, to use that chance to talk to people who maybe live in other cities. I know a lot of people now around Europe, around the world even, so tá aithneagam ar a lántaí de friúla inis is tócha timpeall na Hurpach, timpeall an down really, because I've been able to travel a bit, and obviously used to live in Barcelona, and then most of my friends from home don't live in Ireland now, they live abroad. Along chords a big freastal ar an scollum ar an meán scollum. Níl siad in a Gcónaí inis in Éireann, tá siad in a Gcónaí thar they live abroad, maybe in wherever, Australia or the US or Spain as well, or the UK, an Richt Déanta, an Astral, na Stáitínta, an Spáin freisin. So, you know, it's important, I suppose, to stay in contact with them. It's a good chance, again, if I'm not meeting people face to face here because I'm busy with work or in the flat by myself, má tá mé Gnóthach leis an obair, nó má tá mé san órasán I rith na seachtaine an seo, then it's good to be able to chat to them on the PlayStation or on the phone, or just texting them or on PlayStation or on phone. If you just like chur text quickú. So that's important for me during the week. And the last one is, I suppose, to always have things to be looking forward to. A Gcónaí an rudí a bheith agam chun a bheith ag súlóib. So if I think about holidays, for example, má tá misig smaoin a bhfuil leithean de saoire, mar hampla, I think I said this once or twice in the podcast before, ceapan gúil sé seo ráite agam cúpla óra ribh ar an bud craile. But like sometimes the best thing in relation to holidays aren't on rud as far maidir le leithean de saoire. It's not the actual trip itself. Ní hé an thuras é féin. But it's sometimes the few weeks before the trip when you're looking forward to it. Aren't it's actually níos mó like an cúpla seacht an ribh nor will to just explain, oh, ní le cúpla seacht an fáca. You're thinking, oh, there's only a few weeks left and I can't wait to go and it's going to be so good. Ní freidir an fánacht agus ba sé chomh maith. And just to have something like that, or even, especially if you're working a job you don't like, I think few má tá tú ag déanú Ibrad nach that ní an leat, na má tá tú gobar I bust nach that ní an leat, and I'm lucky I work in a job I love, tá post agam agus tá mé nuarálas an bust sin. Agus is even a bheith ag obair sa fust seo. I love working in this job, but if I am the odd time maybe doing a part of it that I don't like, má tá méid déanú písa de nach that níon lum go mór, nach that níon go mór lum beceart am rá, I should say, then it's kind of like, at least if I have something to look forward to that evening, whether it's a call with a friend or going to the cinema or meeting up for lunch with someone or whatever, má tá rud éigean an oíche sin nó an lá sin chun a bheith ag súil leis, beidir ag bualadh le cara, beidir go mbeidh gléach agam le duine éigean, beidir gohfuil mé chun lón ithe le duine éigean. At least then during the day I can kind of have that in my mind and it keeps you going. You know, being to non-lands rigs, when into like or no go to show fuck, there's only an hour or two of this left, and then I'm doing this evening. I'm playing soccer this evening till my game soccer. No, even I'm gonna put on a movie at home that I really like this evening till my hun scal on the chur shul anocht. And so whatever it is, I always think that helps as well, or something that weekend, something later that month rodaigan, and tear shot and a shin rodaigan, ag der in the misa rodaigan, a bheith ag sul leis. So yeah, those are, I suppose, the things, the most important things for me. Sinead na ruddy istav the dumpsa, especially if I'm going through a few days or a week where I might not see that many people. I was thinking about that last month or two because I was so busy here making this new course for me Gnóthach and so san orsan in the flash a crohu on course a new show, and I was thinking, you know, well, those are things that have kind of kept me going or kept me sane or kept me in a good spot so far this year. Sinead na ruddy I thought right cabhrú gomhpháirlam could she show in Lína because I knew I'd be spending a lot of time at home, spend a lot of time on my own working. So yeah, those things have come in clutch for me, as the kids say. So in the Nimihun Irak the yellow Hunishin Astro, I'm not going to try to translate that into Irish. But yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Sinead, don ceachtain seo. As I said at the start of the episode, don't forget to send in questions for the Q&A. Nád into Armand hun Ceisteanna a Chiolús Jack don Q&A. As I said, loads of different ways to send them in. But the best way, probably, I'll see them all anyway, so there's no real best way. Ní rud or ní balachas far really. And just send them wherever, but liam.learnirishonline at gmail.com probably up there is one of the best ways, and direct message on Instagram, agus teachtarach air on Instagram. So that is it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Gurmí the Mágav, Martis Gnóthach as a bheith ag éisteacht. I'll speak to you next week on the Q&A, if some people are sending questions at least, which I'm sure they will. Má churann daoine Ceisteanna isteach agus tá mé cinnte gnéonhí siad é sin. Big thank you, goodbye and God bless. So Gurmí the Mágav, slán agus bacht.